And one amazing boon that Yoshi has against Sora specifically is Yoshi is able to get out of a lot of Sora's 0 to combos
Was an air? Or the jump?
just to jump. Jump alone, helps, but jump alone goes up very far here.
Yikes.
So it's going to be something that ECHRØ is going to have to look after here.
Find out shortly. Using the egg roll, definitely an unconventional way to start things off. But like we said, this is Toni Flamboni's first time step is up and already making a pretty good showing. 92% on a Sora, that is nothing to sneeze at.
Absolutely. Now, I will compliment ECHRØ here, doing a lot of good job. Well aware that we weren't able to get the fast fall forward air there to get into anything more than jab, and just taking that and running with that.
Already seeing that Toni Flamboni likes to play his Pokey in there, just competing out with these nairs and going on these to see off-stage forward as well. So, of course, one of the easiest recoveries in the game, but also one of the lightest characters on the roster, so you can try to take advantage of that. Won't be able to find that first stock.
Absolutely, and I will say, Toni Flamboni is fairly conservative with the eggs here. Not talking about yeah. In big economy, these are absolutely expensive eggs. But just patience by Flamboni, just waiting for ECHRØ. ECHRØ kept going for those little shark moments, but just wasn't connecting there. And then Toni with the perfect moment there and punishing with a back air.
Toni found so much momentum out there, like a 90% streak that just seemed to build itself out of nowhere. Now I'm curious with ECHRØ understanding the pace a little bit more. You can tell slowing it down as well, trying to space and forcing them to approach despite having the stock disadvantage. Really good up tilt to catch the 45 degrees.
Absolutely. I love the delay there with those jabs and or forward tilt in just waiting and seeing when Flamboni is going to get out of shield and punishing appropriately.
Fortunately, the grab was a bit off the mark. Some of the magnet hands quite just yet. This time,
Will kill, but back air isn't going to get it just yet.
Andaga? Not done. Use it up and not losing too much extra credit, too.
Absolutely. And I do also still want to compliment Flamboni there, going for the egg toss there, as if you could have been up Sora in that moment, he probably would have survived and made it back to stage.
Absolutely. So now forward smash there to answer back, and you can see that ECHRØ is now starting to set the pace. It's like Toni Flamboni maybe didn't have any more gas left in his Zamboni. Needs to try to get back on top of momentum. Yoshi's very momentum based. You can obviously just combo the absolute crap out of the Sora early percentages, but at the moment, like they're just trying to outplay this Poking War, and ECHRØ seems to be the one who takes advantage of that much more.
Absolutely. ECHRØ has all of the spells available at their disposal. Not at the same time, but the Sora spells are a very monumental thing in this matchup, because it's just the best way for you to get in and try and get some good advantage there against Yoshi.
Wow, great job using the Blizzaga and comboing it off the up tilt. Didn't find too much to follow, but you can just tell that Toni Flamboni is now playing a much more defensive game here. Maybe on the ledge. Try to make it
Beautiful punish there.
Okay, get the dash. But the side B actually going to give stage control back to ECHRØ.
Ooh. Yeah, absolutely. That is going to take it there, but it's not going to take the stock just yet. Flamboni was in a tough bind here if they want to try and make it back.
I'm going to try to cover. We've seen so far that ECHRØ has been definitely pressing the advantage a bit more at these ledge trap scenarios, but Toni Flamboni now center stage. 157 as well. Sora is definitely liable to try to kill you. No up throw instead. Just bounce them off the ground. Tries to go for the up B.
Amazing patience there by Flamboni. Not panicking in that moment and getting juggled against the Sora.
Oh, there it is. Gotta be careful. That's a coin ledge poke. Use the up B this time. Doesn't have to be center stage. Still gets the job done. Down.
Right.
It stops on his ribcage. What a lost game it tees.
No, I did also want to compliment Flamboni there in that attempt of an edge guard. If we were able to get that forward there, we probably would have gotten an amazing spike. We would have killed Sora, potentially. At that percent, it probably would have. But it was just one of those moments where we sadly mistimed it.
On the platform season where Flamboni really gets their chance to almost find the shield right there with the Yoshi bomb. But they're just dribbling now. They're looking like Prime Shack off the stage. And once again, it doesn't find the spike this time either.
Absolutely, that was a deep edge guard. And I will say, ECHRØ, I do want you to be a little bit more conservative with those counters. In that moment, that could have ended very poorly there, but it...
Oh, not the daddy, dude. Holy. That changed the month. That took an entire calendar year for us to wait for them to break out that egg. The egg toss really finds the mark. And once again, these deep edge guard attempts. But oh, no, that's going to help you back slightly. As you like, random. Why not saving them? That's tragic. Flamboni recognize that they'll be granted a second lease on life. They instead break the lease. That's going to ruin your credit score and ruin your attempt at getting that first game.
Absolutely. Either way, amazing job there still by Toni. There were, yes, so many moments there where it really could have just gone there if it was just slightly differently timed, slightly differently spaced. We could have been looking at a completely different game one here.
I'm wondering if do you want to see Toni Flamboni continue to go for these audacious edge guards? We want to see, because they're not successful so far, but you could, like you said, you can tell it's just a few degrees off.
I absolutely do, because that's practicing its purpose. And so if you're just going to keep going for those edge guards, and I will say a lot of people do not train edge guard Sora, because they're just like, what's the point? He's gonna make it back?
Yeah.
No. He's edge guarding. He has a very predictable recovery path.
Okay.
That if you're able to just call it out at the right moments, done. That whole stock is done.
I feel like you're just trying to be serious. That way people in your bracket are like, y'all edge guard, you need heroes, they need to destroy them. I don't know.
Maybe.
This is some crafty propaganda being propagated here by the booth, but nonetheless, ECHRØ steps up 1-0. But Flamboni got to try to make a name for himself in the second round.
Absolutely. And I do like how ECHRØ uses the side special 1, especially on the platform, because it will take you right up and it could lead to a tech chase.
That's a really good thing to keep in mind. So look out for that option when you decide to use it. But you mentioned the spell slots, and that's where I really do see ECHRØ utilizing it so well. I mean, sure, the egg toss is great for Toni Flamboni, but in neutral as well, ECHRØ seems to always make so much space with Thundaga.
Absolutely, and especially with Thundaga, I always joke that Sora has 2 spells, and one of the spells is just to get to the better spells.
Yes.
But Thundaga still is doing a tremendous job, especially in ECHRØ's hands.
Grab there, gets stage control. Once again, somebody goes off stage, but quite finding or now the one being punished for it. Blizzaga sends him up alongside the up tilt.
And that not killing. I honestly thought we had taken it at that moment.
Could be that Yoshi bomb, a bit aggressive. Be punished hard, and it's going to be a really aggressive point back to stage. The grab as well.
Absolutely. He's getting there. It is. This is what I wanted.
That's what you want.
You can edge code the man. Just try.
And Toni Flamboni certainly going by the principle when he first came to see, try again. Sure, we'll be able to answer back with a quick back here, but this is where I like Toni Flamboni, honestly. The disadvantage state, they seem to really dominate whenever ECHRØ's above him. Sora's got a really hard time landing up against the
Absolutely. That is probably one of Yoshi's best advantages here against Sora, in just how easily juggleable Sora is and how easily exploitable that is.
Gentlemen, where are we going to press advantage with? Good grab. Now both these players seem to be trying to like bide their time, especially ECHRØ's. There's light comes through. Can you find the second? The nair off the mark, and Sora gets back to ledge save.
Absolutely. And I do like that patience there. Toni Flamboni not immediately going for that edge guard in that moment. Just trying to see how ECHRØ wants to try and recover here, and using that to try and potentially get a read later.
I will also say, just noting the real stat of these 2 players, Toni Flamboni being the unknown, right? The new kid on the block. It makes sense to try to make a name for yourself by being that aggressive one, by trying to be a bit more audacious, surprise your opponent. Unfortunately, the surprise out of shield is that up B once again takes that second stop.
Absolutely. And once again, going off stage, going deep here, I always expect a respect going in deep for your edge guards, especially for Yoshi. Yoshi makes it fast.
If you do it this time, just debated out there by Fire Aga, but is able to get back to stage with egg tosses the back here. I'm not gonna lie, I might like to see, especially the last stock you're playing with, I might want to see them just stick to that edge and try to get the ledge trap instead. Look for a throw to Fire Aga, put pressure off this ledge. How do you get back safe?
Ooh.
Not like that.
Beautiful job there by Toni to get that confirmed there and finally take that stock without ECHRØ getting too much extra credit there.
Yeah, solid work. It's down tilt, can't find the follow-up. But again, Toni Flamboni, I love that when they're dribbling with these aerials, it seems they're always crossing up ECHRØ, whereas if you give ECHRØ too much space, they're just going to spam the spells, and then it becomes really difficult to deal with. They have an unlimited mana pool. You do not want to have all of those thunderbolts raining down on top of your head. Instead, they are leaning counter.
Honestly, I was surprised that counter wasn't too early. Because it looked a little early to me. But clearly, ECHRØ's the one in the driver's seat here, and I'm just the humble watcher.
Advantages stacked up this way, but the weights as well considering. Not even Stevens, but you know that Toni Flamboni's dealing with that pressure. And pressure can make diamonds. It could also crush you into pieces. Toni Flamboni definitely gives us a good first performance here in their bracket run. Unfortunately, they will go down 0-2.
Absolutely, and ECHRØ moving forward as a Sora player, you love to see it, but as a also as a Sora player who rates the Ditto, you don't love to see it.